Hello and welcome to the LRM Podcast, sponsored by Adrian Flux Insurance. I'm Martin Dominy.
And I'm Steve Miller.
And we're back at Billing for day 2 of the Billing Off Road Show 2026. We had a cracking day yesterday, didn't we?
We did. The sun is always shiny, it's always very dusty and sweaty, and this is a very strange sound coming out of this, so apologies if it's a bit echoey.
Yeah, not really sure why it sounds so different to yesterday, but anyway, I should take advice from a qualified technician such as yourself, and if you think it's okay, then we'll just carry on, shall we?
Yeah, I adjusted it, but we'll carry on.
Cool. Okay. Well, welcome to Sunday of the Billing Off Road Show. I hope we're all having a cracking weekend. I hope you've been out on the off-road course and been keeping an eye on what Challenge Southwest are doing, buying lots of stuff. And here we are, back with a fresh round of guests for your second day of the LRM Podcast, live from the beer tent in sunny Northamptonshire. So without further ado, should we get our first guest up?
Yeah, I think we should, definitely.
Returning for 2026, it is our friend Defender Lexi. Here she comes. The mic is on.
Hi there.
How's it going?
All good, thank you. How are you?
Very well indeed. So has your weekend been as eventful as last year's, or is it you've gone a bit smoother than 2025?
I think this year's gone a bit smoother. Boza wasn't on the gate. I haven't received a prohibition, so I'm not a criminal this year.
Always a good start.
I haven't done the mud run yet. I haven't been off-road, so nothing is broken currently.
Currently being the operative word. Well, that's a good start. You haven't been written up for any sort of problems on your Land Rover, which is good. How is the Land Rover? How is the Defender?
Defender's going really, really well. Currently, it is covered in mud. I did go on the Friday off-road course. That one's it is a good one.
So Riverside course.
Riverside course.
Quite tight and twisty, isn't it?
It is, yeah. There is one really good puddle which you can full send through, and mud comes up and over the roof if you do that.
So at least it definitely looks like you're taking on the off-road course.
Yeah, I think my friends are a little bit confused as to how I got so much mud on it. Everyone else came out rather clean, and I didn't, so...
Top effort. Oh, good. Well, how is the 110 behaved itself in the last year since we last spoke to you properly?
It's behaving. It is behaving. It's...
Don't say it too loud or they'll hear you.
I know. TD5 though, so not normally many problems, but touch wood, I can't swing the wood around.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear it. And how's your weekend been so far?
Weekend's been really good. It's very, very warm, but I'm sure you've had everyone tell you that it's very warm.
The weather has been mentioned a few times, mostly by us, to be fair.
It's very sweaty, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's going to remain a little bit cooler today. There's a nice breeze outside and a bit of cloud cover, so fingers crossed we're not going to roast like we did on the hillside yesterday, doing show and tell for an hour, being blasted by dust and, getting crisped up by the sun. But no, it's all good fun. It's just part of the experience here at Billing, isn't it, Steve?
No, it is. It's something that we've come back year after year expecting, and we all leave like David Dickinson, don't we, with all this orange tinge. And I don't know how he gets them at night time, but I was glad to get in the shower last night.
Yeah,
I'd end up with Robbie.
Definitely, yeah. It was like deliberately brown. It's like, yeah, I wish I could say that was a tan. It isn't.
Dust tan.
But fun. What does your day look like today then? What are you up to?
Well, after this, get out on the off-road course because I haven't done it yet, so I feel like it needs to happen. And I'm hopeful that you guys might later, maybe after show and tell. What do you think?
There possibly is a bit of time, but there's a small window of time, probably an hour in there.
There's talk of us going down to the mud run because Exmoor Trim, sponsors of the off-roadables, have set up a really cool viewing area in some of their seats. So we might go down there and do a bit of a report, if you like, of the happenings down at the mud run and rate people as they go through and see how it goes.
Are you going to hold up cards, like numbers?
If we can find some, we absolutely will.
You should do that. I wonder if you're going to get muddy sat there. Do you think? A little bit of splashback. It's quite close.
We might get aimed at, which is fine.
Like people do.
Thanks, Lexi, yeah.
What time are you going to go? What time? And I'll make sure I'm on there then.
Well, maybe after this. It depends if we can get down there and back in time to do show and tell, because it's an action-packed day for us, isn't it?
It is quite full on. I'd like to get down there because every year we say the same. They should go down there and see it. But there's people that come to this show that only go to that bit.
Yeah, they just sit there and just watch.
They take a picnic with them and they just watch. And
it is something to see though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's if you haven't done the Billing mud run, then where have you been all your life? You need to do it.
There's everything you need down there as well. There's ice-free vans.
They've got loads of food now, don't they? So they're set up. You're set up for the day.
Sounds good.
Absolutely. We'll definitely make it down there today and have a look, see if we can see something. I did notice, because for a few years it's been sort of the mud run, obviously the amount of mud that it takes to get a Land Rover stuck, and every Land Rover that goes through leaves with a lot of mud underneath it. The mud hole actually got emptied out. So now, yesterday I saw pictures of it. It was brimmed up with water, so I'm hopeful that it will still be good and
It's going to be nice and sloshy today.
challenging.
Yeah.
So yeah, must get down there and see what's going on down there.
We went through with I went through with my friend Jubilee yesterday, and we went on the left-hand side and kind of get in, and there's a bit of a ledge, and it kind of felt at one point like we were floating through it, and I did wonder if we were going to get stuck, but sailed through. She's pretty good.
Top work. Is there tactics? Is there a strategy to the mud hole, or is it just hit it as hard as you can and hope for the best?
Well, I think like Jubes and I both very much full send and hope for the best. Just go with it. It's going to be fine.
Is it a strategy that paid up? You made it all the way through, I assume.
It does, yeah. Yeah, we made it. We got there, didn't we? So, pays off.
My top tip for that is to make sure your diff lock works. Because I entered it once and went to put the diff lock in, it was like, oh no, it seized up, leave it stuck.
Oh, I had a friend that went through it high yesterday. Just sent it, got it through. Yeah.
Taking wheel speed to a whole new dimension just by not bothering with low range. Fair.
He couldn't get low engaged at all, so
Optional.
let's just try it.
To be fair, when we were testing the track at the Newbury showground for our big festival, which is in now just 2 weeks' time, Matt Allcroft made it all the way around in his L322 in high range because he was so scared. The car had spent its entire life in London. He was so worried it was going to go into low and then not come back out. He just left it in high, and it was all right, to be fair.
He must have been living a life of luxury in the L322.
It was very comfortable and quiet, and I thoroughly recommend. Luxury off-roading is very good.
As long as it doesn't break down.
No, I mean, touch wood, no problems, but
we like that.
They are complex beasts.
So, when we were doing show and tell yesterday, I saw like a 75 plate Discovery 5 go past, and it was absolutely covered. That had been through the mud rut.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Some people buy these cars, and there's so many of these new Land Rovers being bought that they don't actually ever see off road.
They don't get used to their full potential. No.
I don't know whether I would put one through there, but
you spend that money and then.
But it's great to see the newer models being embraced and used properly, definitely. But so we, as per last year, really, Lexi, we sort of recruited you for the podcast again, having seen you in the beer tent last night, and you shared quite a fun story with us. Are you going to share that again, or is that like something you want to keep under your hat?
No.
Where you possibly might have nearly got kidnapped.
Oh yes. It's good. It's good.
Okay.
So I saw there's pretty cool 90 camped very near us. It was a little pickup. My friends are all laughing at me right now.
The guy's not in here, is it? That'd be awkward.
He's not in. I don't know. Maybe. Hopefully not. Hopefully he doesn't listen to the podcast. Or maybe he'll like this little shout out. But he had this cool 90 pickup with like nice stacks, exhaust, sound good, TD5. And my friend and I decided to go over. We had a few drinks by this point, and we just wanted to talk to him about it and just say like we like for a truck. Next thing we know, he said, "Oh, do you want to come out for a ride?" And we were like, "Yeah, okay." So in we jumped. He didn't have 3 seats. He had 2 seats and then just a towel in the middle. So Jukes just kind of sat on this towel with her legs over me in the seat. And next thing we know, we're leaving the site. And it was just a bit like, oh, okay. We didn't realise we were going to be leaving. And full sendage out the site. We're all fine. Jude and I giving each other the eyes of, can we take this guy if he tries something? And luckily, we were fine. We came back. We're here. We're safe. Yeah.
So where did you end up going?
Just on like the main roads around here, like just up and down, little joyride.
Quick blast up the A47 and back, and you did make it back in one piece. So
Exactly. It wasn't until we got back and I said, "Oh, what's your name, sorry?" Because we hadn't even introduced ourselves yet. And he's like, "Oh, my name's Heston." And I said, I went to introduce myself. He goes, "No, I know who you are." And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sure, if flattered or scared.
Yeah. At least I'm back.
A top tip: don't get into strangers, whether they've got a Land Rover or not.
I mean, we could have gained something that night. Like if he tried,
that 90 and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, there you go. So thanks for sharing that, Lexi. I'm glad for you.
Me too.
Billy, it's just a hive of activity, isn't it?
It
It
is.
really is a weekend of, it is what you make of it.
That's it.
And if that means going for an unsolicited ride up the main road with someone you've never met before, then
Why not?
all power to you.
That's it.
Good times, good times. Well, we won't hold you up any longer, unless you've got anything else to
No,
tell
I
us.
don't think much has happened yet. So
Oh, right, well, today is a new day.
later. I hope to see you on those seats when
Yeah,
we're going through.
We're going to go up there.
You,
Give us away.
we will.
And well, thank you ever so much for joining us as always, Lexi. And we will see you. Well, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, see you soon. Thank
Exciting.
you. Very excited for LRM Fest.
Good stuff. So are we. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Defender Lexi.
If you're thinking of going off-roading, did you know that most standard insurance policies won't cover you if your Landy gets damaged? That's where our sponsor Adrian Flux comes in. They can include off-roading and green laning cover on your Land Rover insurance policy, perfect for those who like to push their 4x4 to the limit. Just search Adrian Flux Land Rover Insurance for more information or call them directly on 0344 728 0417 for a quote.
Next up, we're going to have a chat with a man who runs an off-road parts company, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about what that entails and, you know, where things are going, wherever you want to decide. There you go. Alex Danells, very nice to see you again. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. It's first time on a live podcast. Pretty exciting.
Good stuff. How's the show going for you?
It's been pretty good actually. This is our third time of filling. It's definitely our best show so far. It's where we've sold the most. So it's been fantastic really. The heat's killing us a bit, and the dust, but I think everyone's dealing with it, aren't they?
Yeah, it wouldn't be billing if it wasn't like this. So Danells Off Road, now Danells Off Road 4x4 parts. Because I noticed you changed to adapt to the business, so you weren't with the tour companies.
Yes. Yeah. So the branding kind of led us to sound like we were selling, like you say, off-road experiences and bits like that, or even a race team. Everyone asked what our team was. So yeah, it made sense. Stick with the parts branding in the name and go from there, really.
So for those who don't know, what is it that you actually do? So I've seen some sort of, would you class them as races, off-road racing?
Yeah. So majority of our work was Ultra 4, or do you remember Dirt Nationals?
Yes.
There's more like the
Did that stop last year, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do the same sort of people are going to be running a new series.
Okay.
Hopefully, it's kind of the more extreme full tubular spec builds. Do a lot of trailing arms, steering links for that. But we also do Defender, Discovery 1, Discovery 2, replacing steering bars, panhard bars. And then we're constantly trying to think of new things to add to it as well.
I was going to say, there's certainly, this is really your core market, isn't it? Like the hardcore off-road stuff, and going higher than that, like say the tube race buggies, things like that, Ultra 4 and that sort of category of vehicle. But uprating, steering arms, and you said panhard bar as well. Quite an important thing to do if you are using your Land Rover heavily off-road, because let's be honest, the factory stuff's not exactly heavy duty, is it?
No. So you're going from like 2mm wall steel to our bars are a 38mm solid aluminium. It's a 7075 grade with a T6 heat treat on it. It's an aerospace grade aluminium. We bought it in because when we were racing, we needed something that could handle like heavy abuse, like just constant hits in rocks, and we never used to run any sort of under body protection on them.
Okay.
And we were running them and never bent or broke one. All we were doing is crap rod ends. So
It's really interesting, 'cause like these guys in the Challenge Southwest, they're racing around doing the passenger rides, and this is more grueling than actually the competitions that they enter, because they're a full chat all day long with passengers. They don't get time to cool down, and this is the actual test for this equipment. Have they got stuff that you make?
I would say almost every single truck in there has got our parts on it. Sorry, I was really loud all of a sudden. And yeah, almost every truck in there has got something from us, whether it's steering, panhards, or even just like custom stuff. We do dashboards and.
Good stuff. I was going to say I mean, you mentioned it is massively grueling. I think from a longevity and endurance point of view, but it's really like the terrain that Dirt and Ultra 4 has taken on these days. The huge like rock walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's really where heavy duty steering componentry comes in, because mud's fairly forgiving actually. It's pretty soft,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You smash a steering bar into a rock, your wheels are going to be pointing at each other like your Land Rovers cross-eyed. So. Yeah, serious. I didn't realise it was aluminium. I thought it would be steel.
Yeah, the aluminium allows for a bit of give in it. So with the steel, it's even stainless. It's so hard that it sends the shock back through into the joints, and there's no flex in it.
Like a resonance.
Yeah, it just sort of pings and then comes back straight again. So it's actually something the Americans have been doing for 10 plus years. They're so heavily into four-wheel driving and stuff over there. They've got all these great ideas. And then the race series brought it in, and then we thought, well, why can't we do this for Land Rovers? And another thing we do is conversions. So people running Defenders, the Discovery 2 axles on. They want custom steering bars. We can just make whatever they need, lengthwise or.
I was going to say Discovery 2 axles in the Challenge sickness. There's comparatively to a Defender axle, a much more modern design. You've got stuff like unit wheel bearings, one-piece bolting wheel bearings, sealed CVs rather than swivel balls and things like that. So is that something that's gained in popularity?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially for racing, you want to get into unit bearings. Because like you say, it's just 4 bolts for the bearing, drop it on, no more adjusting or the tabs or any of that sort of carry-on in the middle of the field. So yeah, it's definitely pleased it out.
So obviously you're selling products at the moment. So would you say like America is? You said about them being 10 years. Are they 10 years ahead then, essentially? So what they're doing now is what we'll be doing in a few years.
A lot of the time with the extreme racing stuff, I don't really follow any of the Ultra 4 over in America for like King of Hammers and stuff like that.
Yeah. We're rolling Jim Marsden.
Yeah,
is over there, isn't he?
You just see the stuff they're doing, and it's like, they're all on IFS now. IFS, really long travel suspension, live adaptive shocks, and it's just, it's like they've got like £1 million in some of the trucks now. It's
it's become a league. No one's racing a Series 3 anymore, are they? They're doing the VX, these days are over.
A seriously big business over in the States, and I'd absolutely love to get over there and watch them racing at some point. It's a real sort of dream of mine to go over and take it all in person. It's one thing watching it on YouTube, but actually being there must be amazing. So, do you guys actually race yourselves?
Yeah, so we started off racing in 2022. Our first one was an Ultra 4 event, and we started off with a standard Land Rover pretty much, just with a cage on. It was a early Discovery 1 3.5 Rover V8 with twin SUs. It was basically stock. And we came away from that with all the radius arms all folded up, trailing arms folded up. Because we didn't know what we were doing. We just wanted to go and have fun. Yeah, we just like.
You were never there to win, were you?
No. It was like we're just gonna see how it is, have fun, and enjoy it, and we did. And then we just from there progressed into a Nissan Patrol axles. That's quite a big jump at the time. That was like the next leap. But it's a big jump.
Can you still get those axles? I mean, are they in like high demand to people who are in the know are looking for those parts?
Yeah, with the price when we bought them for the core, so just off a broken road car, was about £1,000. Now they're about 2,000.
Okay.
For the same thing.
People learn very quickly what works, and they hunt it out.
Don't get me wrong, we obviously love Land Rovers to bits. When you put a Land Rover standard diff next to a Patrol one, you're like, it's like, what toy did that come out of? Absolutely enormous. Patrol stuff, super heavy duty, which is obviously what you need for reliability. But, so the plucky little Discovery actually did okay, apart from sustaining quite a bit of damage. It was a decent place to start.
Oh, we loved it. I mean, we ran, after the 3.5, we ran a 3.9, mainly to get away from the V-belt over to self-tensioning rear V-belt. Yeah, so that was just the biggest upgrade ever. Not having to keep adjusting the belt or the belt was slipping because we're running twin alternators, 12 and 24 volt.
Yeah.
That was an issue running that. So yeah, the 3.9 was a fantastic engine though. We ran it out of oil twice while racing up Walters. So an oil line blew off while we were racing, and I could hear it knocking. And I was like, the engine's dead. We just shut it off. Someone came around and gave us some oil. We asked them, they dropped it out the window as they're going past. Put the connector back on, filled it up. A couple of seconds of some funky noises. It was going again, and then same thing happened the following day. Getting the pipe.
Right, yeah.
We thought we'd checked them all, but we didn't.
That's pretty good.
But yeah,
Yeah.
and it's still going now.
So is that like so anyone that wants to get into motorsport, I'm always interested in like the entry point for people. Would you say that would be the ultimate entry, like Discovery 1, V8, and then go break it and then modify it?
Unfortunately, it's not the V8, it's the TD5. If you're gonna go in entry into the racing, get a CD5 because you get that £500. You know what I mean? Get the ECU machine.
There's still plenty out there.
Yeah, get the harness, a long harness. Get the ECU up out the water, and just have fun. Loads and loads of power, easy to get on with.
I'm not sure if he's here this weekend, but Charles Dunn has that TD5.
Yeah, he's here.
It is his, isn't it? I went in that a couple of years ago, and I think we hit the back straight there at about 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And we got airtime, and that thing absolutely flies. And that probably is the cheapest point of entry, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And he's a fantastic driver.
He's fast. Doesn't say a lot. He's like the Stig.
Yeah.
He's a man of very few words, but he's like absolutely focused. And in fact, Martin, you must go and have a go.
I really do want to. Like,
You want to get into motorsport immediately. So good.
yeah, like you alluded to, like motorsport. You haven't even got. It's not all about being competitive. A lot of these events, it's finishing, isn't it? Because they're so hard on the car, like the driver as well. It's a punishing environment. These things are. Like motorsport in general, I went and spoke. We did a podcast with Drew Wright a few months ago now, and like he had his series 2A there, like shortened no tunnel, and like old school challenge truck. Like, to see where they come from that to where they are now is like mind blowing. And actually, we were speaking to some guys at LRM Live. We're all about starting up a retro class for winch challenges and stuff like that. We could standardish Land Rovers with 1 or 2 winches and locking diffs and, your old school 35-inch tyres, and I'd be well up for seeing a resurgence in that.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. It's kind of gone. I think it's pushed a little bit too far now with the racing, which sounds crazy coming from us, but it's gone to the point where it's so expensive now. I think it's harder to get into it. When we first started, there was what do they call it, stock class, which you've probably seen lots of Ryber's Range Rover, which is just as basic as you can get while being safe, but just having fun. And there was a load of cars like that, but everyone's kind of pushed on a bit now, and they're into
Isn't it
really extreme stuff, and it's expensive.
We were having a conversation with Mark Canville on Friday night. He looks, in fact, we would all be drinking warm beer if it wasn't for him, I believe, because he fixed the refrigeration on the beer lobby out the back. Anyway, he looks after Banger Racing up at Greyfield on the Green. Looks at about 5 or 6 miles from here. Got to be less than that. Banger Racing now is about £5,000 to £10,000 for a banger.
Wow.
That's how far they're into it. And I thought they'd be like £500 cars,
Yeah.
just bagging around until they were trash. No, it's £5,000 to £10,000 now.
I think motorsport does get subjected to people wanting to outdo each other all the time, which is obviously the spirit in competition. But I think there's always got to be a space for your everyman to get into it as well. And that's what makes it relatable and appealing. And you want to go out and buy something and build it to regs and actually get out and use it. Because otherwise it's so far out of reach. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel attainable. I think I hope stock class does. Thrive in future. I hope it can be made to work. Because who are the people with the had a disco 1 or 2, which was basically empty, just had a cage, and they would jump in that thing.
That was I was still right with Bereth.
Was it
Brother?
right?
Possibly.
Possibly.
I think it's a brother.
I wish I could remember, but seeing what was essentially a standard Discovery, just all caged up, but otherwise complete, like a road-going vehicle, like the stuff they were putting it through. And you even got to look back to events like the Campbell Trophy and things like that, which are big standard cars, but built to a safe standard. The punishment Land Rovers will take in that, across that terrain for an extended period of time is not to be sniffed at.
No. I mean, I still think a Land Rover is the best format for getting into racing, to be honest. There's so many of them here, and they're affordable still. Just get one and get started. You've got to do it.
You can, and you can, if you're really budget conscious, you can go around to all the Auto Jumble stands, Sunday, where we run 6 of those events a year through Newbury, Malvern, up in Ripon, and you can go and buy second-hand parts, second-hand TD5 engines, transfer boxes, gearboxes, axles, so parts are plenty. And I think, where do you think you'll be in 10 years from now?
Well, really not sure, to be honest. I'm hoping it kind of backtracks a little bit to make it more affordable. A lot of the trucks now that are racing are not far of 100,000 just in parts. It's just, you can't spend that much on a hobby. People are, but it's very.
But it does push the sort of the everyday man out of we wouldn't be able to go racing, would we? Let's be honest. A, money, and B, time probably.
Yeah.
But it's good that people are, because this is a proper showcase. This show here, isn't it, of what is possible. Surely anyone that's been as a passenger in the Challenge South West Arena over there wants to take it on, because I can imagine it's addictive.
I hope it comes back, to be honest. And there needs to be a class just for Land Rovers that are basically caged up enough to be safe, and then just get that going again. That'd be fantastic.
I mean, I was lucky enough to do a couple of rounds of the Freelander Challenge back, and that was in the heyday, and but incredible cars, really. And they get a lot of flack from some enthusiasts, but we did one Kerry Forest, 2 days of driving a Freelander Challenge. It was pretty punishy stuff. Like, it was a lot higher up class above the Freelanders, and it was a 1.8 K series 5-door with a cage and bucket seat, and I drove, and Neil Watterson, who I think is here today somewhere, it was co-driver, and we completed it. We weren't competitive, obviously, but it completed. We had no breakages whatsoever, and I ended up driving it home. I didn't even put it on the trailer, just jumped in it and drove back to Cambridgeshire from Wales after, came in around the forest for 2 days straight. Absolutely brilliant, and I hope something like that, perhaps with a little bit more emphasis on like the technical side of off-roading, like low-speed stuff, like you guys do the Ultra 4 and maybe like traditional winch challenge events. I do hope that comes back, because I know there's an appetite for it. Just it's so difficult. I mean, you only have to look at how many events. I don't know if it's money or what, but getting people to actually commit to it's difficult, I think. And when you look at like the price of venues and insurance and everything else, you are up against it.
Yeah.
And I always think it's a generational thing as well. The next generation, there's fewer people who, if your parents didn't do it, or your grandparents, and it's coming through the ranks. But that, we've been quite inspired to see, haven't we, some youngsters around this show this weekend who the future is safe, but there's just fewer of them.
Well, the thing is, it's an ideal showcase here with Challenge Southwest. Like, if you were, how can you not be captivated by that as someone young and into Land Rovers? That's just going to be, you only have to watch them to get into it, let alone actually take a passenger ride, which, by the way, you should do if you haven't already, because all the money goes to charity. And you've been in what? You've done it twice now, haven't you?
In fact, 3 or 4 times. And do you know, the thing is, because you don't know which one you're going to get in, that's the thing. You line up and you'll get in as a passenger seat. So I've had very different experiences in 3 different types of vehicles. So Duncan's massive 6-point-something litre
Team Hybrid.
Yeah.
Team Hybrid one is a lot faster and a lot smoother than, say, Charles Dunn's CD5. But I'm going to say I had more fun in the Charles Dunn's CD5 one, because it was properly harsh, to be honest. It felt like you were actually racing. And so they're all very different. Yeah.
So you guys still out there doing it, or are you taking a break from the racing? We have almost finished rebuilding ours. So you might have seen it on the corner. Our Italian spec one is now lime green to match the business colours. We've dropped a Lexus 3UZ in that. Just a little bit more power. We had a 300 TDI in it since it was built, and then we were like, we want to take it to shows, take it to just sort of show it off really, something noisy. So we dropped that in, but ECU issues, so that needs to go back. Once that's fixed, hopefully get back out again, start enjoying it, and we're not even worried about racing. We just want to get out with our friends who have got pretty much stock trucks and just go around with them. Like we're not bothered about ragging it. We just want to enjoy being with friends and winching them out and doing that.
Always comes back to the community, doesn't it? Whatever, if you're into just Touring Series 1s, there's a secure, community for it. Future racing, that absolutely just get involved, join a club.
What would you say? What would you say the best off-road venue with regards to racing in the UK?
Well, Walters.
Yeah, Walters.
We absolutely loved it. It was it was fantastic. I don't think we can race there with Ultra 4 type cars anymore due to environmental issues there.
Right, okay. I wasn't aware of that.
I think trials is fine. It's just I think it was too rough on the terrain. They were saying.
Yeah, they're pretty picky about certain tyres at certain venues, aren't they?
Yeah, well, one of it used to be through the JLR rocks, but through the lake beds that was seriously brutal. We raced 3 years in a row there, and them boulders look tiny in photos and in videos, but they make a 37-inch tret look small when you actually get stuck in between them.
Yeah, I bet. I can only imagine. Well, Alex, thank you ever so much for joining us. If you want to check out what the Danells Off Road guys do, head down towards the LRM stand, to be fair, where we have loads of exceptional subscription deals on. I'll drop that in there. And have a look around their vehicles, have a chat to them, and see what it's all about. Alex, thanks again for joining us, and we'll catch up with you very soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Cheers. Alex Damond, everyone.
Nice and thanks for that.
Finding the right parts for your Land Rover or Range Rover shouldn't be an off-road challenge. At bmh4x4.com, we've built a smarter way to get you back on track. Our new website is now live, the simple, fast and reliable way to find the parts and accessories you need. Supplying quality parts for Defender 1983 to 2016, Discovery 1, 2, 3 and 4, Range Rover Sport 2005 to 2013 with Range Rover P38A and L322 coming soon. All parts are backed by expert knowledge, quick delivery and a 2-year quality guarantee. Visit bmh4x4.com, built by enthusiasts for enthusiasts.
So next up, we have a young gentleman who is heavily involved in the early discovery group, I believe, Steve.
Yeah, so we have a young chap called Reece Williams joining us, and
There you go.
well, we don't know a lot about Reece apart from he's 16 years old and into discoveries, but not just any old discoveries.
He's another one we picked up from the beer tent, you know.
Basically.
And we've done a beer tent recruitment twice a year. So yes, how are you, Reece?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. I'm very well, thanks. Tell us a little bit about what you get up to there, because I've got this Project J preservation group, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm Reece, I'm 16 years old and I'm the archivist for the Project J preservation group. And so that involves basically just collecting all history, writing articles about them, trying to spread the word of the early discovery, try and, get them out there more and get them more appreciated.
Good stuff, and it's it's a vehicle that's definitely gained in popularity in the last few years, and people are really recognising just how versatile and usable a classic they are, which is fantastic. But it's down to groups like Project J really put that information out there. So, how did you get involved with it?
Well, I was about 12 years old. I bought my first Discovery because I always wanted one, sort of as long as I could remember. I wanted any sort of Land Rover really, and then when I was about 9, I sort of discovered the Discovery 1 in a way, and that's when my obsession started. And so I managed to buy one with the help of my dad, just saving up all my birthday money and everything like that. Got one, brought it home, and then I'd always been on the Facebook pages looking at all Project J preservation group stuff, I've sort of wanted an earlier one, but we couldn't find one, so now I've got a 1997 300 TDI. And I got talking to Roy Preston, who's the chairman at a Land Rover show. And then he was very interested in what I was doing. He sort of saw me as the future of Discoveries and Project J. And then he kindly sent me out some stuff. I got a year's membership. And then not long after, I was asked if I wanted to take on the archivist role.
Wow, fantastic stuff. Roy is, of course, a veteran of the show scene. I don't believe he's here this weekend, is he?
No, not this weekend.
I'm sure he won't mind us saying he's getting on a little bit, but an absolute treasure trove of information about Discovery, a really enthusiast, and he's got some really nice examples himself. You guys got a stand though this weekend, haven't you?
Yes, just over sort of near the arena. 5 on display, including a nice camel trophy.
Good stuff. So tell us a little bit about your own Discovery then, and the sort of journey you've had to take with that.
So it sort of started me just nagging my parents daily with different ones I found on eBay or Facebook or whatever. Eventually we found this one which wasn't too far away, didn't look too bad, and I managed to actually get them to come and view it with me, and then we did end up buying it. It's a 1997 300 TDI, and it's a Japanese import model. And we brought it home, sort of had a look at it, knew there was a little bit that needed doing, but then as we've started stripping it down now, we've just discovered more and more wrong with it, and so now it's a good opportunity for me to sort of learn my stuff on it.
Great stuff, and to be fair, they're in that sweet spot. Discoveries, especially 300s, they're in that perfect category of usability, but also they're mechanically simple enough to be works on at home. So you mentioned yours is a Japanese import.
It is, yeah.
From my experience of them, they're normally quite high spec and normally automatic.
Correct.
Is yours both of those things?
Yes, it is.
That was a big guess, wasn't it? Are there any other differences that you know of?
So you've got a different exhaust on them because of emissions laws. All the stickering then is in Japanese as well, and it is in sort of individual spec. It's not the same as a UK car in terms of interior and stuff.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So, do you know when it was re-imported back into the UK?
Yes, so it was brought back in November of 2004, I believe.
Right, okay, and of course the first thing people say when they hear Japanese import is get some rust proofing on it, because obviously in Japan they don't salt the roads, cars last a lot longer, so they don't bother rust proofing them. We do all those things and they dissolve, as anyone who's ever been involved in an early Discovery will know. You only have to show them a salty road and the sills fall off and the body mounts rot and the boot floor goes crispy. So have you done all that stuff?
Well, we're having to fix all of that now because it wasn't rust-proofed well enough when it came to the UK. But then we'll be making sure it has plenty to put on, when it's all welded up.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's all about trying to future-proof them for as long as possible. I mean, they're already a few decades old as it is, so doing that legwork early on means that it'll be good for decades to come. And so is the plan to put that on the road and drive it when you pass the test, or are you going to keep it a little bit longer and get it back up to top spec before you decide to use it?
Well, it's sort of a recommissioning job and then just doing everything we find, but it's taken quite a while obviously because I've had GCSE exams and stuff to get on with. But I've now finished them, so I'm going to try and get as much done on it as I can. I've got about 9 months until I'm 17, but the problem is insurance is just going to be too much on it. But I'm going to see what I can do. Yeah.
Good on you. Yeah, insurance is always an obstacle, and the more people you can fit in a vehicle, the harder it is to insure, which is why Defenders are often a lot cheaper than Discoveries, as I found out when I was young as well. But, well, absolutely made up for you, and such an accomplishment to get a Discovery that young. It would have been a dream for me when I was that sort of age to have a Land Rover to spanner on.
They hadn't even, they had launched Discovery when I was that age, but you couldn't afford them. They were like a premium car.
Yeah, like brand new.
Yeah, they were brand new, yeah. Yeah, I think they're a brilliant vehicle, aren't they? I mean, Roy always maintains that they're the best thing that they saved Land Rover, didn't they? But yeah, is it? You're doing the research. I mean, we speak to Hadu, don't we? And uncovering the secrets and the knowledge from the past. Do you get the most enjoyment from that, or was it the actual working on the dock?
I'd say there's enjoyable qualities of both, but I do really enjoy the archive work, just discovering new information, being able to write about it, because I do a lot of articles and stuff, then share it, And so that brings me probably the most joy in a way, because it's finding out new information on something I'm passionate about, and then I have that platform now to share that.
So when you finding that information, how do you go about finding the information? I mean, did you speak to people from the factory?
Yeah, so I've managed to speak to quite a few people from the factory. One thing I'm doing a lot of research on is the stretched 116-inch ambulance versions. Don't know if you've seen them.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've managed to speak to people who worked on them, people who were involved in the development and stuff. So it's basically just retracing those steps, going back to everyone who was involved in it. Then you've also got paperwork, press photos, other things, magazine articles, just collating all that information into one, and then see what it can get you. And there's still quite a lot out there to discover, so plenty to keep me busy.
I was going to say recently, or probably a year or so ago now, Gary Pusey, our classics editor, found a lot of stuff about the really early pre-production J's, and we had a series of magazine articles in Land Rover a month about it, and it was just the detail. As you say, the deeper you dig, you find these little nuggets that were missing and no one's ever heard of for years, and it's just, it must be mega rewarding to do. So you spend a lot of time at places like the British Motor Museum in the archive there or anything like that, and talking to people. I was going to say, actually, we interviewed Mike Sampson, who was had a hand in designing the Discovery. It was an absolutely fascinating story about how it came to be, and like the engineering decisions that were made and things like that. It really is interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, what do the next few years look like for you? Do you think you're going to keep a hand in Project Jade and drive that forward?
Definitely keeping a hand in that, trying to get more and more involved as I can and as I have time and the opportunities. Keep on writing my articles, keep on putting stuff together, finding new information, see what I can do, and hopefully get my Discovery on the road and out to some shows.
Good stuff. And is that in the Project Jade Club newsletter magazine that you write the articles for?
Yeah, so I do some for the newsletter and I do some for other things as well, and I post some of it on Facebook. So plenty to see.
Good stuff. Where can people find that in placement? Is that on Project Jade?
Yeah, for the most part I'll put it on the Project Jade Preservation Group page.
Fantastic stuff. So be sure to check that out if you like a bit of early Discovery action, and who doesn't? I think cracking vehicles are a brilliant way into Land Rover ownership and a brilliant do-it-all usable classic, really. I don't have a bad word to say about them, apart from obviously we'll brush over the rust issues, but that's just part of owning a 30-year-old vehicle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you doing some of the welding yourself? Are you learning all the welding, or are you farming that out?
My dad's doing the welding himself, and he's sort of teaching me as we go, but for the minute he's doing all the stuff on the Discovery just to make sure it's good. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's teaching you, you're learning how to maintain a car, which not many people are doing at 16 years old.
Fewer and fewer, that's for sure. Yeah, no, it's great to see. Well, thank you ever so much for joining us on the LRM Podcast. And where did you say your stand was again, if people want to come and have a look at Project J?
It's just sort of over in the right-hand corner near the entrance by the arena.
Good stuff. So, if, by all means, head over there, have a chat to some guys, all very, very friendly people. And you say you've got a camera on the stand?
There is, yes.
Very, very cool. So, yeah, head over, check that out.
That must have XCLs on it.
Oh, I'm not sure about
I don't think it does.
Does it not?
No, we're going to be judging the clubs at about 11 o'clock, aren't we? So we're going to be walking around.
Yes. Indeed. Yeah, after this, in fact, we need to head over there in a bit and see what's going on.
Good fun.
Cool. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Give it up. Oh, let me give it up. Back. Yeah, thank you ever so much. We'll catch up with you in a bit.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Well, Stevie, just us again.
It is. I was looking around to see if
our other guest had turned up, but he hasn't.
But as predicted, he is not here. But I think he'll be down at the mud run. So
no, he's probably sitting on one of those lovely export trim seats, taking in the action from down there. So I do think we need to make it up there later on and see what's going on, because our friend Ian was here yesterday and he put up some great attempts at the mud run, and it certainly looks tricky. It looks like you need full commitment to get through. So go up and check out the action from that. And of course, back on the hill at 1 o'clock for show and tell. So if you've got a Land Rover or any other 4x4, I'm not going to say it.
Do not upset the Mitsubishi boys again.
No.
Please.
I was a little bit tongue-in-cheek yesterday. They came after me.
They did. They came to lynch you, but you had gone.
I ran away.
But at the end of the day, the Mitsubishi crew, they're as fanatical about them as most people are about their Land Rovers. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So,
anything that's not non-Land Rovers, we're happy to see it.
And while we might not know anything about anything on Land Rover that you bring up, we're always keen to learn. And as we said, we've had some really cool stuff in previous years. We've had Pinsgau, we've had what was that little thing called?
Oh, Halflinger.
That was it. Yeah, we've had Jeeps, we've had Mitsubishis, all sorts of stuff.
We have had quite a few things, haven't we?
Yeah, so if you've got something a little bit wacky or unusual and you want to have a chat to us about it, we will be doing show and tell between 1 and 2 up on the hillside there, where Challenge Southwest are doing their passenger rides. If you haven't already, be sure to go and get yourself a passenger ride with Challenge Southwest, because it's unlike anything else you will ever experience, so I'm told, having not actually done it myself.
You need to get on there.
I'm going to. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It's on the list. But thank you, as always, for joining us for this episode of the LRM Podcast. We hope you continue to enjoy your weekend. Have an absolutely brilliant day. It is a little bit cooler and a little bit more bearable out there now. So, and don't forget to head to the Land Rover Monthly Gazebo, where we've got some awesome subscription deals and some really cool gifts. So don't miss out on that.
Yeah, I think that is us, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon so. Thank you ever so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye for now.